Hey there, I'm Robert Dempsey, and in this video we are going to look at a fantastic WordPress plugin, a free WordPress plugin called Editorial Calendar. And this is a must-have for your Media Hub, absolutely. And I was introduced to this plugin quite a while back, actually, by a great guy named Chris Brogan. Did an interview with him at Life of the Freelancer. Definitely check that out. But essentially what it allows you to do is, in WordPress, you have posts, and you also have pages, but you have posts. Mainly that's what you'll be writing in your Media Hub, just a lot of blog posts. And typically when you create it, if you look at a list view of these posts, and managing that can get kind of difficult. And then what happens if you want to schedule out like over a week or multiple weeks of content, it's not that easy to see. And so what this editorial calendar does is it presents you with literally a calendar view of your posts, allows you to quickly create drafts of your posts and then drag and drop them around to different days. So what I mean by all that, you will see in just a second, and we'll take a look at it, how to install it, how to use it. It's really simple and a really powerful free WordPress plugin. So this is what you see in front of you here is the WordPress page for Editorial Calendar, kind of telling you what it's all about. It says it makes it possible to see all your posts and drag and drop them around and manage your blog, which is absolutely true. And now you could download it right from here and then upload it with a FTP client to your website. I don't recommend that. That's quite a bit too much work for me. Rather, what we're going to do is we're going to go directly into our blog site, our WordPress site, and install it right from there, activate it, and then we'll see how it works. Takes less than 30 seconds depending on the speed of your internet connection. So, but really first what I want to talk about is kind of content strategy, and this is what the editorial calendar helps you with. So yeah, okay, great. It's great to be able to see a lot of blog posts scheduled out, but what it really helps you to do is look at how you are implementing your content strategy and actually implementing that strategy. And it all starts for me with a little activity called mind mapping. And Xmind is what I use for mind mapping. It's great. I use a pro version, which costs just a few dollars to be able to export things to PDF and things of that nature. Otherwise, it's free. You can use it absolutely free. And an example of a mind map is this one that I created for Life of the Freelancer. So what you do is you start here right in the middle with your main idea, and then you start branching out with other ideas, and then you can go on and on and on, just continuously branching out onto your ideas. And so as an example of this, right, so I have Life of the Freelancer, and then I start creating, okay, well, what are the different things that I'm creating around Life of the Freelancer? I got products, books, webinars, site monetization, big thing, contests, and content. And this is what I want to talk about right here. And so here I've kind of listed out some categories. I have finance, productivity, questions and answers, making money, very important thing to everybody, full and part-time jobs, getting started, etc., etc. So basically I start off with this main idea of content. I then go into categories, and then I can start branching on those categories. So for instance, under productivity, I have virtual assistants and workflow. And thinking, okay, well, what are some of the topics I want to talk about with virtual assistants? Well, it's going to be finding a virtual assistant. That's kind of important. How do you find this person in the first place? And then ways that you can pay your virtual assistant, because some of it's not straightforward. But this is all stuff that I've done, I know about, I've been doing for months to years, and things that I can absolutely talk about and create content around. So this is where mind mapping really helps out. So we have our content in a mind map, and we want to then get this into a series of blog posts. And that's where, again, this editorial calendar WordPress plugin comes in. And here is an example on the screen of kind of what this looks like once it's up and going. And here you can see that I have, well, it doesn't show like these, well, it's refreshing. So it does, it shows, months of content. I have it set up to show 1 month of content. You can have it show only a week or 2 weeks or what have you. I typically, with my blogging schedule, am ahead about a week or two, sometimes 3 weeks. When I was heading to Thailand, I had like a month of content already lined up to go. So what it shows you here is You see the titles of each of the posts that you create. You can create a new post, you can edit an existing post, you can click to view a post, all from here. This is really makes managing content a heck of a lot easier with WordPress. So how do you get it up and going for yourself? Well, once you log into your WordPress site, then there are two places that you can go to install a plugin. If you scroll down here to the left, there is a plugins menu, and you can either go directly to the plugins page, which will take you to a list of all the plugins that you have installed on your site, and then go add new. But again, that's too many steps. So what I do is I just click this add new link here under the plugins menu, and then that takes you to this page, install plugins. So very simple. We can do a search for the plugin that we want. Again, it's Editorial Calendar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy and then paste the name of that in there. I'm going to hit search plugins, and then what this does is it contacts the WordPress.org plugin repository. So this page right here. So it goes back there. It starts doing a search for plugins that have Editorial Calendar in the name. And again, my internet connection isn't very fast here. For you, it'll probably be a snap. It'll just go through really quick. Okay, great, boom. So it found two. Edit flow. I have no idea what that is. Could be kind of interesting, maybe. But either way, Editorial Calendar, this is the one we want. So I'm going to click on the Install Now button, or link rather. It says, do you want to install this plugin? Yes, absolutely, I want to install this plugin. So once you hit yes, what it does is it pulls it into your WordPress installation, installs it, and then you'll have a link to actually activate that plugin, which we'll see here in a second. We can also see that it's on version 1.2, and it's got, looks like really 5-star rating. And I know that I've had great success with this plugin. A number of big name bloggers out there are also using this plugin, and I highly recommend that for your Media Hub, you also use this plugin. So it's installed, pretty quick stuff here. We click on the Activate Plugin link, and then what that does is once a plugin is installed in WordPress, it's not activated right off the bat. And there's a reason for that, mainly because we might want to just go ahead and install a bunch of plugins, but the more plugins you have active on your WordPress site, sometimes the slower it can be. Now, I do have use a plugin for caching, which we'll talk about in another video, to keep things on the WordPress site going fast. And typically I use anywhere between, literally, and some people might laugh when they hear this, somewhere between like 20 and 30 WordPress plugins on a site, just because it gives me a lot of functionality. So, okay, we are active. You might have to empty a page cache if you do have a caching plugin installed, but we can scroll down here and see WordPress Editorial Calendar is in fact activated and ready for our use. And also one of the cool things that we'll see here is under this post menu, there is now a calendar link. And so that's how you get to the actual WordPress Editorial Calendar that allows you to do all of this great stuff like scheduling out posts and dragging and dropping and all this kind of stuff. So if we click on the calendar plugin, then, or rather the calendar link under this post section, it's going to take us to the calendar page here. And so since I have this other page up and ready to go, I'll just show you how to use it with the Life of the Freelancer site. So I want to create a new post, right? So we're trying to schedule out our content here. We've looked at our mind map. We have a post in mind. We now want to get ready to start drafting that post inside of WordPress. So when you go to a calendar day in the calendar, when you highlight, or you hover over, you're going to get this new post link. So we click on new post, and here it pops up the basic framework for a post. We can add a title, content, we can schedule what time we want it to be, and we can also set the status of it. Now, by default, it will set your post to draft status, and there's a reason for this, and we'll see that in just a second. So what I'm going to put here is this is a draft post, just for fun, because I can't think of one thing I actually want to start writing about right now. I'll leave the content blank for now. You can start adding content if you want, but time, I typically put up all of my posts at 8 a.m. Eastern time. Want to leave the status as draft, so I click save here, and really quickly what it'll do is it'll then call back to WordPress. It'll save that post as a draft post, and then I can go back in and edit. So it says it's waiting here. Again, kind of slow with my internet connection, but again, it's going to be a lot faster for you, so don't worry about that too much. And here also, again, you can see just real quick, right, while we're waiting for that other one, this is what it looks like right after the plugin is installed, what the calendar looks like. If you have posts already in your blog, you'll see some there. If you don't, then it's just like this, kind of nothing. Now, if you do scroll down and go way down here right now, right, we're in February, March time frame, you can click on Show Today, and it will actually take you back up to today. And here, this video is being recorded on the 14th of December. Now, also, there are some options that you have for your calendar. So over here, under near the logout link, you have some screen options. So in the calendar here, you can set the status. You can see the status of it if you want, the time of day that's going to be listed. If you have multiple authors on your site, you could show the author. And you can also determine how many weeks at a time you want to show. And typically, I like going a month because, again, I'll be sometimes 2 to 3 weeks ahead of myself for kind of regularly scheduled content. And then once you hit apply, it'll apply and update the calendar as necessary. So going back here to Life of the Freelancer, we can see what this looks like. So we hit that new post. We created a draft post. We can see right here, this is a draft post. It's in draft mode. It's scheduled for 8 a.m. Now, when you highlight over the name of the post, you have some options. You have edit, quick edit, delete, and view. Now, this quick edit will take you back to that screen. It'll again pull up that small edit screen that we had before. But what we want to do at this point is actually click on, oh, and there it is, right? There's the screen that we saw before. I'm going to just close that. But what we really want to do is now click the edit button. Sometimes it's a little tricky because my screen is so tiny. If you have a bigger screen resolution, it'll be easier to click on those links. But what I want to do is now, I want to go in and edit, and what this will do is take me to the full WordPress editor for that post where I can add all of my metadata, I can add my content, I can upload whatever media I'm adding to that post, audio, video, text, imagery, what have you. I can do all of it, set the tags, set the category, and go from there. So a very easy to use WordPress plugin, absolutely free, absolute must-have inside of your media hub. So I hope that helps, and I will see you in the next video.